So it's my favorite time of day. It is Beer 30. And you know what I like about Beer 30 the most? It's any time I decide it's Beer 30. So get you some of that. Now, we're here in the garage today, and we try to move the background a little bit every time, give you a little perspective on what goes on here at Gas Monkey Garage. Of course, we got the very first car we ever built as Gas Monkey Garage back in 2003 and 4. We've got the 812 Superfast. It's wrecked, but has a clean bill of health from Ferrari, and the Thomas Crown Affair Mustangs, never too far from my right foot. You guys and gals out there, grab yourself a real beer. I'm gonna grab myself an imaginary one, and here we go. So what's going on here at Gas Monkey Garage? Well, we've got a ton of stuff going on. Right over here to camera left, I can't show you, but it is a kick-ass video. It's gonna be coming out here pretty soon. And as a matter of fact, it's one of my favorites in a very long time because it's gonna blow your mind. And you probably noticed that we got some black car covers on some cars back there. Can't tell you what that is either because that is going to absolutely blow your mind. But what I can tell you is that giveaway number 5 just started here at Gas Monkey, and we try to do something different every time. You know, for a long time, the winner got to come here and take any one of my cars. I want the winner to be able to decide. So I got an allocation for a brand new Hellcat Jailbreak Edition, which means you get to pick every single option on the car. There's like 40 different options and hundreds of ways to combine those options to truly make a one-of-one last of the V8 700 or 800 horsepower fire-breathing monsters that they say they're going to quit making. And it's my allocation, and I'm giving it to you. So if you're in the Dallas area, pop into Gas Monkey Garage here on Merrill Road. And if you aren't, get on GasMonkeyGarage.com. Every dollar you spend is an entry to win, and the winner gets to not only come here and party with me, have a few cold beers, but also spec their own jailbreak any way they want it. Get on the site, spec it out, and send it on over on any of our Instagrams, Twitters, or social medias out there on the old Insta-webs. Speaking of giveaways, on the last Beer 30, I told everybody in there to go like and subscribe and comment, and we were gonna draw out a random name, and they were gonna win a toolbox full of all kinds of cool stuff, and you know, things that I could think of that might just be fun. So here is said toolbox, and this box is gonna be filled with all kinds of goodies. We've got hats, we've got stickers, we got koozies. Probably have some t-shirts in there once the filming's done. But I went through my desk in a little drawer I called the drawer of goodness, and let's see what we pulled out of there today. Let's see. Now, y'all guys know I travel a lot, so I always like to travel, and a while back the old lottery was way up to some big numbers. So I got this winning lottery ticket out of Georgia. It's $8, so we're gonna put that in there. Don't think I'm gonna just give you free money and not make you work for it. I don't know how you get the money from Georgia. I'm sure you can mail it in or do something. And then I've got one here in Texas that I think it's like a $10 or $20 winner, but you can figure that out. There's rules on the back. And then I got a $50 gift card that somebody gave me, so you can have that too. And then $100 bill from yours truly right there. And if I get a chance, I might even sign it. So there you go. Some money you get for free, some money you have to work for. So that's what's inside the toolbox of goodness. Let's see who won. Give me one of those drum roll things. Bang. Whatever, however it goes. Troy Chavis. And I think this guy's into comics. But anyways, Troy, there's a little bit of money in here you're going to have to work for. But then again, it's money. And then there's some Visa gift card, $100, all kinds of Gas Monkey stuff, signed little box in there. So stay to the end. Troy Chavis just won this. Wait till you see what's going on at the end of this episode because it's even cooler. So we're at the garage. Let's talk about some of the cars that have come in of late. I told you that I was changing the collection a little bit, looking for 60s, 70s, and maybe even early 80s type hot rods and cars. Some diversity from getting around what I've collected in the past. So first up, 1977 Ferrari 308 GTB. That's a hardtop coupe, carbureted early car in silver and black. Phenomenal car. Got it out of Silicon Valley, I think from the second owner, and I absolutely love that car. That one's going to stay with us for a while here. And then tons of comments on the 812 Superfast. I took a chance, bought it at Copart, and it turns out, if you saw the video last week, we took it to Cars and Coffee. The car performs great. It does everything it's supposed to do. It's got a clean bill of health from the Ferrari dealership and our friends over at Norwood, Michael Luongo, that helped us build the F40. So we've got some pretty crazy plans, and a lot of those plans came from you guys and gals, because I said, send in your comments. Do I keep it stock? Do I wide body it? Do I go crazy? Do I LS swap it? Stay tuned for that. You're going to get a pretty cool kick out of what I end up doing. So the red Pontiac convertible Tempest that was left over from my auction with Denny Cannonberg about a year ago. Man, did the internet light up on that. You guys had comments on it. You liked it. I had a ton of people asking about buying it. One guy was so enthralled with it that he jumped in his pickup, came down here with cash, and he took it back to Phoenix. So he's going to be dropping the top and getting some sun in the old Tempest. Now we're on to the next segment of you guys and gals out there. Send in your questions. When we say send in your questions and comments, we're paying attention, and we're going to get to as many of them as we could. One that was predominant this week that we saw was how do I decide which cars we're going to build or restore or keep or sell just like they are. Now, the problem with that is it takes a very, I would almost call it in today's time, a mindfulness. Now, how to get mindful with my vehicle? I bring it in here, I sit on this stool, and I drink a cold beer, and I stare at it until it tells me what it wants to do. And no, the car doesn't talk, but, you know, once you look the car over and you see what you have and where the rust is or isn't, or whether the car, you know, how special it is or isn't, or what's the story to the car. Does it need to be a hot rod? Does it need to be a resto mod? Does it need to be a period correct? Or does it need to be fully restored? Or did I get myself in a pile of stuff so far up to my kneecaps that I need to get off of this thing and get it gone before I lose even more money? So it really is a process that I do. I think about it, I look up, I study on the net, and then I talk to the crew, we find out what we have, and we make that decision. It's not rocket science, I call it gas monkey science, and that can be some pretty messed up stuff. So here's one I get a lot. What's my favorite car movie? Well, it depends on what kind of mood I'm in, really. You know, if I just want to see some good car crashes and things like that, let's jump on to either Cannonball or Hooper or even a little bit in Smokey and the Bandit. If I'm trying to get some sexy time with the old wifey, you know, Gone in 60 Seconds got a little sexy vibe to it, you know.
Okay, let's rock.
And plus it's got some cool cars. That gets me excited every time. So, you know, my favorite car movie, you know, there's some bad car movies that I hate, like Christine. I mean, that should not be categorized as a car movie. Christine should be categorized as a cheap horror flick. I hate that show. I never want to watch that show. I hate those vehicles. Hate's a strong word in today's society, so let me pull that back and say I strongly disagree with that show being a car movie. So take that out of the category. Here's a question I get a lot too. If I could only have one car for the whole rest of my life, what would it be? Now, a smart person would say, well, I want a nice, good, comfortable car that I can drive, that's going to be fast, that's going to go great in the corners, great in the turns, great in the braking, and all these other things. Another reasonable person might say, well, I want a good utility car that's going to get good gas mileage and things like that. My answer is going to be, I want a car that's going to be worth so much damn money at the end of my life that I can spend the last few days of my life partying. So I'm going to go with the best investment car. That's the one I would have. So that's a few questions for today, and make sure that you send yours in. We get a lot of questions coming in. We try to grab ones, and believe it or not, we get a lot that are the same. So even though we get like hundreds, a lot of them are more or less asking the same thing. So try to be creative. I mean, my favorite movie car, my favorite car I'm going to drive forever. I mean, what you going to ask next? What was my first car? Come on, you guys can do better than this. So we have an empty chair here today, and I guess you're wondering, you're actually salivating, wanting to know who is going to sit on the stool. Well, let me tell you who it is today. It is Phipps. Phipps, come on down. You're the next contestant on What the F***. Have a seat, sir.
I'm the only one here.
Oh, yeah, well, they didn't know that. It's cameras.
Okay.
So what's going on, Phipps?
Nothing.
You digging it?
I am. We got some stuff done. Actually, before schedule, we were supposed to go somewhere this weekend if the car was ready, and it was ready.
Yeah, but I've got to go to Daytona, so
I
too
know.
bad.
But hey, we beat our quota thing.
All right. There's no quotas here, Phipps.
Well, whatever.
So,
We did, promise.
all right, Phipps, so I got a double whammy for you here. What's the favorite build that you've ever been a part of? And is it different than the favorite build you've ever seen come out of Gas Monkey Garage? And if so, what was that build?
I haven't really built too many. I worked on all those guys' cars, like those good guys or whatever. Your cars that you built or anybody built, that's a tough one. You know, it really is.
Because you can't remember?
Mainly.
Okay.
But you know, this is going to sound weird, but way back in the day, that Rambler wagon, okay? Because remember the people brought it back to fix that? Well, hey, I drove that thing for a while. I almost ended up with it if those people hadn't come got it. But I don't know. You've done so many, and they're all so cool. There's, I guess the next one.
What about
How
the one
that?
that we can't talk about over here?
What's that?
We resurrected it because
Yeah,
it was
we sure
down on
did.
its luck.
And I tell you, that has weighed on us for what?
Long time.
Yeah.
We've known about that thing for a long time. But anyways, so what we learned just now is that Phipps can't really remember except for the absolute shittiest car that was ever turned out by Gas Monkey Garage. It stank. It was horrible. It ran and drove great.
Yeah, it
but
did, yeah.
man, was that thing ugly. If I remember right, we used Sue the upholstery lady's drapes to make her curtains to make the seats out of it. This car was disgusting.
It was.
But that was
I
the
liked
early
it.
days.
Yeah.
That's back when we were scrambling just to get a TV show out. Speaking of bills that came out of the shop here, Phipps, do you remember that super trick green and white truck that I think it was Jeremy was driving and got wrecked?
Absolutely, the one you built for like Cattleman's Ball or something.
Yeah. So that thing ended up getting smashed. Jeremy hit a wall. I know exactly what happened there, but let's just say it was an accident of the right foot. But that truck was fast. It was really cool.
Very fast.
And one kid bought it and was going to rebuild it. And then somehow another shop, Diebold Auto Body, ended up getting it. And it is now finished and complete. Have you been watching that on the old interwebs?
No.
Oh, you don't have the interwebs?
I have it. I just don't do that.
You just don't interwebs.
Just a cat video.
Just cat videos. Why do I believe that? So anyways, if you guys and gals out there don't know, watch this. It's pretty cool. It's back on the road, and the guy did a really, really good job putting it back together. Now we're going to get into a little thing I call Phippstery. It's kind of like history with Phipps, okay? So tell me tell me a crazy story. I mean, you've been doing this for a very long time, either here or just at the street at your shop that you were at forever, that your dad started even forever ago. So what's the best?
When you live your life, it charmed his mind. It's hard to narrow it down. The craziest, my parents wouldn't like me talking about that.
Keep it PG, you know. We've all got those kind of stories.
I guess you want me to tell you the first time we met?
Yeah, sure.
You don't remember?
I think I came in and tried to buy your dad's car or something.
Yeah. I didn't sell it to you. But that's the first time. And then, so then, on the way to my bank, I'd ride my bike, my motorcycle, and I had this saddlebag, right? Well, I'd go to the bank, and I'd stop at the beer store and get those little Millers that fit perfect down in my saddlebags. Well, I'd stop, because there's all kinds of cool stuff out there. And I guess that's when we started really talking.
So there you go. There's Phippstery with Phipps, the history of Phipps as his mind can tell it. And he's writing a new book called The Encyclopedia Phippstatica.
I lost my pen.
So I got some good ones for you, Phipps. I've got down a rabbit hole sometimes when I'm laying in bed at 3 in the morning and can't sleep and, wondering how I'm going to pay the bills and keep the lights on around here.
Yeah.
And, of course, pay you.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah, so there are some weird automotive laws out there. I mean, some stupidly weird automotive laws that may or may not still be enforced, but they are still on the books. So I'll hit you with the first one. Let's go with Texas first. In Texas, you must have windshield wipers to register your car, but a windshield is actually optional.
Yeah, that's stupid, because look at all the dune buggies. My dad used to make dune buggies, and who makes this stuff?
Well, I have a pretty good theory, but I'm not allowed to talk about politics.
It's a bad subject.
So another one, Nebraska. I found this one on the old interwebs, and if you're in Nebraska and you're driving in the mountains, then you must drive to the right edge of the highway. Sounds pretty basic.
Isn't that normal everywhere?
There's no mountains in Nebraska. It's flat. I think I'm absorbing Phippsism over here. It's just oozing into my brain and scrambling it.
You feel your pecker getting bigger?
Hey. I also found that in Tennessee, it is illegal to shoot animals outside of a moving vehicle. Pointing your gun out
I
there.
think that's anybody, right?
Except for whales.
Whales, right? Ooh.
Exactly, Phipps.
Sperm whales? Are they legal?
A whale's a whale. So let me remind you, Phipps, if you're not up on your geography, Tennessee is landlocked, and they don't have the ocean, so there's no whales.
I've seen some whales walking down Harry Hines. Are those the ones they're talking about?
No, Phipps. I don't.
And I've been to Tennessee and I've seen a.
I don't think that we're talking about the same kind of whales, Phipps. You had it when you did the woo-woo splash thing. So here's one that I found that's not quite in force yet, but they're going to vote on it. And if it is enacted into law, then in Florida, a dog can no longer stick its head out the window of a moving vehicle without being in a harness.
Well, if you like your dog, but if your dog's smart, I don't see you needing that. But.
Well, yeah, but what are they going to do to the dog?
Well, I had a dog harnessed on his collar, right? Not a harness on him. And he saw another dog, climbed out the window, and now he's hanging. So that wasn't, I mean, if I hadn't had him harnessed, he'd have got out. But he was sitting there hanging.
Well,
I stopped the car.
Hey, the dog on family vacation was harnessed, and he kept up as long as he could.
Yeah, but he didn't jump out the window. He was just kind of.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. So, wow, thank God.
Yeah.
Saved by the bell. Enough Phippsism. So I took the liberty while we were having a little break to rumble through the garage here, and I found ourselves a brand new Holley Sniper kit. Now, you can bolt this thing on and whammo jammo. You got a little better gas mileage, a little more horsepower probably, and on top of that, you're fuel injected. So I'm pretty stoked on these. We've used them quite a bit in our builds, and we're gonna give this one away. Remember when I told you when we get to the end of Beer 30, if you're watching, you'll know what we're doing? Well, that is what we're doing. So I need you to like, comment, subscribe. Tell us your thoughts on Phipps. I'd love to see some of that. And we're gonna draw, I'm trying to get some votes for you, Phipps. I'm trying to up your popularity score. So, we're going to draw a winner from the like, subscribes, and comments section. So make sure you're paying attention. Holley Sniper EFI kit coming straight to your door, courtesy of Gas Monkey Garage and Holley, of course. So is that it? Do you got anything else? Do you have any words of wisdom for these guys and gals out here that are watching?
More comfortable shoes.
There you go. That's Beer 30. I'm done drinking imaginary beer. I'm going to go get some real beer. Phipps, thank you. Thank y'all. See ya. Woo! I forgot about something. So check it out. One last thing. You are going to dig the next videos that are starting to come out. We have been banking some really cool stuff, building some really cool cars. So get you some of that. Now, I'm out of here for real.